Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you've been following this mystery so far, today will feel quieter but somehow even more unsettling. So get cozy, grab your coffee or tea and let's dive into this mystery together. Today we received three new system warnings after midnight. The first one feels familiar. Make no mistake, trust no sounds on the home square after midnight. This is now the fourth day in a row we have received this exact warning. Some players have mentioned hearing strange or unsettling sounds after midnight in the home square. Personally, I haven't experienced this yet, but the fact that the system keeps repeating this warning makes us feel less flavor text and more like something we're supposed to notice. The second warning is new and very specific. Remember, the castle has no library. The library does not exist in the castle. This is important because until now, no one questioned whether the castle should have a library. And the system isn't saying avoid the library or do not enter the library. It's telling us the library does not exist at all. The final warning after midnight, do not publish other diary on VVANNA Community. Make no mistakes. Diary, personal records, private thoughts, this immediately connect to earlier warnings about posting experience, sounds, and discoveries on VVANNA Community. It feels like the system isn't just protecting us anymore, it's trying to stop information from spreading. Today's VVANNA Community post is titled Mirror. The description is short but alarming. Found a room. The comments are filled with question instead of answer. What do you see? Did you make it out? Are you still there? Just like before, the post doesn't update, doesn't move, and feel frozen in time. Combined with today's warnings, it raises a question. What kind of room did we get in? What kind of room did we found? Now, to get more info, let's listen to the episode 4 of Castle Radio.
Soon, the doorknob turned again, this time with more force. You pressed hard against the door, even though you knew this thin wooden panel couldn't really stop anything. Unexpectedly, it actually fell silent outside. You remained frozen for a full minute before daring to slowly turn around and survey the room. This was a study room. Tall bookshelves extended from floor to ceiling, filled with all kinds of books. In the center of the room stood a massive desk, scattered with papers and a fountain pen. There was no fire in the fireplace, but the room wasn't cold. Instead, it felt strangely warm. This place seemed safe. You moved quickly, dragging the chair from beside the desk and wetting it under the doorknob. Then you checked the windows. They were locked, overlooking the castle's back garden, a blur in the rain. Finally, your taut nerves relaxed slightly. You chose what seemed the sturdiest corner, crouched down with your back against the wall, and vigilantly surveyed your surroundings, concealing yourself in the shadow of the bookshelves. Safety never comes silently. Danger always prefers to hide its tracks. Time passed minute by minute. The rain outside seemed to have subsided, or perhaps he'd simply grown accustomed to it. The room was quiet to the point of eeriness. You suddenly realized this place shouldn't be this clean. Other parts of the castle bore dust and marks of time, but this study was spotless. No dust on the shelves, fresh ink on the desk, and even signs of recent use in the fireplace. Someone came here regularly. This thought tensed your briefly relaxed nerves once more. Just then, you saw it, the doorknob being slowly pressed down. Silently, steadily, the lock made a faint click, but the door didn't open because the chair was still wedged there. The handle returned to position. A few seconds later, the doorknob was pressed down again. You gripped the bat tightly, eyes fixed on the door. Then you heard a sound, not from outside the door, but from behind you. The sound of a book falling. You whipped around to see a book slide from the shelf onto the floor, its pages splaying open. You couldn't make out the title, but the cover was dark red, like dried blood. You rose slowly, bat pointed in that direction. Nothing was there. Suddenly, another book fell, this time from a higher shelf. Then a third, a fourth, as if an invisible hand was moving along the bookshelf, pushing books down one by one. The trajectory of falling books moved toward you. Your back against the wall, you had nowhere to retreat as danger approached step by step. Finally, the last book fell at your feet. You looked down. It was a leather-bound notebook, open to a page with delicate handwriting. In this castle, no one can escape Mary. The instant you bent down to pick up the notebook, all the lights in the study went out simultaneously. Darkness engulfed you like a tide.
This episode feels safe at first. The chase stopped, the knocking ended, and for a moment it seems like we finally found shelter. But the room was too clean. Fresh ink, no dust, signs of recent use, in a castle that is otherwise abandoned. That is when today's system warnings really hit. The castle has no library. The library does not exist. So if this room isn't supposed to exist, why does it feel prepared? I don't think this is a safe room. I think it is a trap disguised as comfort. The castle doesn't always haunt you. Sometimes it just waits for you to stop running. Here is what I think Day 4 is telling us. This library or study room isn't part of the castle original layout. It is either a space that shouldn't exist, a place created or preserved by someone, or a trap disguised as safety. The castle doesn't chase you endlessly. It lets you rest. And that is when it rewrites reality. The fact that the room is clean, warmed, and reused suggests presence, not abandonment. And the warnings about diary make me think this room isn't just filled with books. It might be filled with records of past visitors, people who came here, noticed some things, and never left. Which explains why the system is so desperate to stop us from sharing what we read, because knowledge in Mary Castle might be the real danger. That is everything we know for Day 4. Tomorrow we'll see if this room really is a safe haven or just another carefully constructed lie. If you have your own theories, feel free to share them. But remember, some places aren't meant to be acknowledged. I will see you in Day 5.